events where heart-led visionary leaders create legacy of impact and income through the channel of entrepreneurship and do more good in the world. You will get access to all our amazing speakers today and walk away with great wisdom and inspiration so that you can level up yourself and your business to the next level. All right, let's level up together. Welcome back to another event here at the Life School. I'm so excited to be back with you with another amazing lineup of speakers today on our speakers panel, Summit Style, the Purpose-Driven Entrepreneurs Roundtable. I always love aligning, connecting people together. They're doing amazing work out there in the world in the service of humanity to create more impact, but of course, utilize their knowledge, skills, and expertise and gifts to really create and change everlasting change in our society. So thanks again for coming back here and also coming together with new audiences every week. I would love to remind you of our community credo actually before we dive into today's event so that you can start walking away with amazing nuggets and wisdom of inspiration from all our amazing experts that have joined us today. The Life School helps purpose-driven leaders to build a legacy company good in the world through the operations of branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team. Our vision is to empower purpose-driven leaders to use their life's purpose through legacy entrepreneurship. And then our mission is to become the most impactful global community in purposeful entrepreneurship. And then lastly, our values are community, connection, service, and contribution. So without further ado, I would love to invite to our virtual stage all our amazing speakers and guest panel speakers today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. Thank you so much for gracing us and also for giving us your time, knowledge, and expertise. I think that's such an important piece in the work that you're all doing. So I can't wait to get to know you a little bit better and also find out a little bit more regarding all the amazing work that you're doing out there in the world. So without further ado, I'd love to start the conversation with Andrea. Andrea Whelan. I hope
Whalen.
Whalen. All right. I put the accent on a we. Okay. Thank you, Andrea, for coming on. And I would love to also ask you, I guess, a starting question, if you could share some of the most meaningful moments that led to the journey and the work that you're doing today.
I've had a meaningful year. Been able to publish 3 books in 3 years, which has been absolutely amazing. I published No Matter How Dark the Stain in the height of the pandemic to help women and to inspire women. When I heard that domestic violence had gone up 60%, I just thought of all those women in their homes and I wanted to reach out and touch their heart. The second year I published Deeper Days, more in tune with what I do today. I own a yoga studio, solopreneur of Ganga Moon Yoga. And so I wrote that book to kind of touch the hearts of the yoga students that, when they shut the yoga down, no one could come. So this book is for everybody to practice at home. And just this year, Amazon bestseller in August is Stillness in the Storm. This one I love because it's the yoga that I teach from my heart written on the pages, but there's also blank space there to write a lot of words. I believe that when you write out what you're feeling, when you write out your emotions, that it's a powerful force for creativity, for creating space in your body, mind, and soul. And this is what I love to do, and that's where I'm at.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much for putting your work out there in the world in the form of books. I find that that's something that will always be there, and people can grab their hands, put their hands on a book, and leaders are always readers, right? People that are always to learn and grow, always have something they're consuming, whether it's a book or a video or a podcast. So I love that you have put your knowledge together and expertise around. What stood out to me is those 2 very important topics of domestic abuse and also how to use yoga to maybe help us with our inner alignment, because we talk about that here a lot. And we understand the importance of that and also our business success. So what can you share? Maybe we could start with the first one around domestic abuse with our audience that you have maybe learned of, that you have packaged inside the chapters of your first book.
I really feel that there's a lot of inner work, and I believe that probably all of us here sitting here today have done a lot of self-inquiry, a lot of inner work, dealing with childhood traumas, dealing with pain in our life. The main takeaways for me have been that you are not what happens to you. Life will come, the fires will come, but you can put them out systematically, and you are not the things that happen to you. You are what you do with what happens to you. The main point of the book that I learned is that the dark parts of life and the light parts of life are both love. It's all important. There's wisdom in the darkness as much as there is in the light. And what I want people or women to know that are in places where they can't see any light, or where they feel that they're not enough, I want them to know that we all have the seeds of destiny within us, that we're all here for a greater purpose. And if they rise, it makes me rise. If I rise, it helps them rise. And it's never too late. It's never
Yeah.
too late. There's destiny within you. There's greatness within you. And it's important for women to hear that.
Mm. I love your work and what you said. We always rise together because we are so interconnected as human species, right? The more we understand
Absolutely.
these concepts, and science always evolving and really articulating a lot of things that maybe we knew with our heart or we felt, but we didn't have maybe the backup or the facts of the science to actually articulate it. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love that you shared that. And the other piece that stood out to me, Andrea, is really that inner work that women get to do to really uncover their worth and really go
Mm-hmm.
after their visions and their dreams and the things that might hold
Mm-hmm.
them back, and break free from those old stories of of what maybe has happened to them, and use their pain for a good purpose, right, to now help
Mm-hmm.
so many other people. So it's absolutely
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. What about the yoga piece? What can you tell us around the whole practice of yoga? I know it's like its own thing. There's so many layers and
Yeah,
depth into yoga itself.
there is. Yes, there's the eightfold path that I followed to kind of guide me out of my own dark places, climbing through some trenches myself. Of course, I use the 8 limbs of yoga, the precepts of yoga, and you've probably heard of things like right mind, right speech, right actions, taking right livelihood, meditation practice. Um, it's a practice every day of making a commitment to yourself and staying connected to your heart center. So the book Deeper Days, for example, breaks down everything that I've ever learned since 1999 about yoga and with my teachers, and really just brings it to one practice. Can you hold one thought a day? It's the art or practice of concentration, which is one of the 8 limbs of yoga, which is dharana. But to make it all sound very, very easy, it's just, can you hold one thought a day? I am loving awareness, say. That easy, but can you come back and remember it as often as you can during the day? And what this practice does, it's very easy, but it's hard because the mind wanders and gets distracted. But if you can do that every time you come back to that I am loving awareness, you are watering the seeds within you now of focus, awareness, and concentration. And imagine what you could do with your life, which is a little bit more focus, awareness, concentration. But that's just one day. It grows. And then there's a space there, a field, a kingdom of peace. And it's so exciting for me, but I don't want to say things that might throw people off. But just,
Well,
just,
yeah, I love it. Well, oh, I always say, right, state the truth that the right people resonate with it. I think that's an
mm,
important piece in our journeys as well. And just not to
mm,
be afraid to be, polarizing at times. If that's really something that we believe in, I think that's really important and powerful. But I think back to what you were saying, Andrea, I think the new skill of this era that we're living in is absolutely to train ourselves, or to be more mindful or intentional around the focusing piece, because it's
mm.
actually become a skill that we need to really be more intentional in practicing with all the environment of distraction that
It's
so
Yeah. So
yeah.
the title of the book is actually 365 Yoga Inspirations for Inner Calm Amidst Chaos. And let's be real, I believe everything on the outside is pretty much chaos. I think it always will be chaos. I think our grandmothers would say it was chaos. but inside there's a deep well of peace. We are stillness, we are mindful, we are these things. Our culture is not set up that way to remind us of our greatness. Our culture is not set up to remind us that we are peace, and it makes practice so important. And this book just has a little snippet you could just read with your morning coffee every day, but just keeps you in line with your heart center. Yoga essentially is a practice of connecting to your heart. It's the heart's path.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andrea, I'll take advantage because I have you here and you're in this line of work. I'm currently, we're always exploring as spiritual beings, right? And we're always questioning things that maybe, were handed to us, or as we explore more information, or as we dive into new topics, right? We always try to become more aware and have more awareness around certain topics and the areas of our lives. What are your thoughts on life after death? Is there something beyond there? What's your concept of this whole theory that, at least for me, is coming to the forefront very, very much so lately?
So I did do 15 years of palliative care, which is how I got into, Reiki healing and all kinds of different measures. Long story short, it's changed through the years. I'm very comfortable with death. The last yoga pose of every class is a practice of death. And so I'll say to my students, how will you die? Will it be kind? Will your last breath be of kindness or not? And another part of me these days fully believes that death is not coming. Life is coming. That life is coming and not death. So I have a little bit different perspective from all of my years of training. But
yeah, and
it's the body that dies. It's the body that dies. It's not the love.
I love that. And yeah, I think we need to talk about these topics because these are, we're all thinking about them, and the more we learn and grow and personally develop, we always looking for depth. So, it's connecting new dots for ourselves in our awareness. So I appreciate your perspective and take on that.
Yeah, just one more quick point about that that's really interesting is the Stoics have a nice saying called memento mori, and they practice this every day, and it means that remember you're dying. And this is how I live my life. I aim to live my life like it's my last day. And the Stoics always use this tool, memento mori. Just remember you're dying. What would you do today? How would your life be different? Right? Because we're closer to death every moment.
Definitely a perspective shift right there. Thank you so much, Andrea. Beautiful work, and then it was lovely to get to know you here. And wait for us at the end because I have more insightful messages to receive from you. So thanks again for everything you just shared so far.
Thanks for what you do. Thank you.
Likewise. Well, moving on to my next amazing guest panel speaker today, Gail Mariel. Gail, thank you so much for coming on. Looking forward to getting to know you better.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And welcome. Very, very grateful to be among very awesome women today. I'm Gail Mariel, the founder of Success Redefined. I am a board certified project manager. I am also an international best-selling author, collaborating with many authors to produce the 2 books, Inspiring Women Professionals Who Boss Up and Dream Big, Do Bigger. I'm also an award-winning motivational speaker, motivational coach, and also an entrepreneur. I help professionals regain their self-confidence through self-discovery and emotional intelligence so they can break free from their limiting beliefs and redefine their success and take charge of their destiny. I also help entrepreneurs and CEOs gain faster revenue through strategic project management, program and process launches within scope, time, budget, and minimize risk so they can focus working on their business rather than in their business. So thank you again for having me.
I love that, Gail. Thank you so much for sharing that. And let's start with the first 2 topics that you talked about and the connection between both and your perspective on each. So how is self-discovery and emotional intelligence connected together, and how does that actually serve us with the success that we might be looking for by whatever definition that we all have.
Yeah, so we all have limiting beliefs, whether it was from childhood or experiences or cultural related, and sometimes it limits us from pursuing our dreams. I had grown up with the mentality of titles, corporate titles, as a value of self-worth. So as I went through the corporate environment, trying to get promotion after promotion after promotion, even though I got promoted and I got recognized, I didn't still feel fulfilled. So I kept trying to get to the next level because I would always think, hey, it would be better, I'd be more fulfilled, I'd be happier with more money, I'd be happier with the title. And in my quest to chase those titles, I ignored my own self-care. I ignored my vision for myself and I ignored my why. I ended up in the emergency room. And that was my defining moment to say, hey, you know what? I need to do something different. I need to redefine my success. Why was I doing this? Why did I want to chase titles? And as I went through that self-discovery journey, I used emotional intelligence because I needed to understand how I reacted to things based on past experiences, working in toxic environments, working with toxic people, getting negative feedback from family about how I looked or how I presented myself. And as I went through that journey, I discovered why I was limiting myself and why I ended up doing that. And so I implemented strategies to help me gain that confidence back and look at what I can control and what I couldn't control and be able to take action on that. And that now it is my mission to help other professionals to really dig deep into themselves to be able to get out of that negative mindset and use emotional intelligence to move forward in their life.
I love that, Gail. So much resignation. And I
Mm.
love the continuation of that story too, because once you assess yourself and you really learn how to implement those emotional intelligence skills, how does that then help you become more productive and efficient in the implementation of projects that we all have going on in our businesses? How
Yes,
has your experience been, and how have those dots connected for you?
yes, absolutely. Now, going through a self-discovery journey, you really identify your superpowers, your strengths. And a lot of times as we go through our jobs, as we go through our interactions with family and friends and social interactions, a lot of our limiting beliefs come from negative experiences. And once you identify and realize what those negative experiences are, you can take actions to overcome them and utilize your superpowers and know that your strengths are there. And so when you start highlighting your superpowers and showcasing them, then your self-confidence starts growing. And as you succeed, your confidence builds. So it's more the stepping stone to rebuilding your confidence. And once your confidence is there, you'll be able to tackle all the necessary projects that you're working on. You're able to think a little bit better and be more focused.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the go, slow to go fast. And good luck you telling me that a couple of years ago, I'm the older version of myself, because we're programmed into the doing so much, right? But
Exactly.
really understanding how all of this connect, and you become more creative and smarter and more intentional with a lot of even the decision making that you might need to do, or go through on your day to day or in your business. So yeah, it's
Exactly.
beautiful harmony. So I love that you shared that, and now that you teach other people to be able to implement that and align that their day to day. Thank you so much for also sharing what you also do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And my another experience that I just wanted to share as well is that I don't know if everybody's been hearing in the corporate environments, there's so much turmoil in corporate environments right now, a lot of layoffs, a lot of restructuring. I was actually impacted. And I had a limiting belief that the only way that I could succeed is to have a corporate job. And once I got out of that limiting belief, once I freed myself, that's when I discovered, hey, why not take my skills, take my expertise and bring that to the world? And that's how I became an entrepreneur. I wanted to really share my corporate experience with others so they can really be successful and take corporate concepts and put it within their businesses, because we can always succeed. We can always increase revenue. We can always make an impact to the world. And that's why I started my business, to really help others to be successful as well.
Yeah, and I love that as well, Gail, because I've been in those mindset blocks as well myself, to think
Yeah.
that that's the only way to be successful, and not everything that we learned there you should throw down the toilet, right? It's all experience. I think the skill there is to implement what we have learned, but also keep discovering and keep finding better ways to integrate both, because then again you happily achieve, right? You look for fulfillment, which is that next level of success, which is the contribution of the soul, right? It's always connected to other people. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Beautiful,
welcome.
beautiful journey, and beautiful message for our audience as well today.
Thank you, Elona.
Beautiful. Moving on to my next guest panel speaker today, I'm going to Petra Valnitkova. Petra, thank you so much for being here. And same question for you. If you could share some of the most meaningful moments that led you to the work you're doing out there in the world today.
I have multiple sclerosis, and this thing leads me to a state when I was lying in a hospital as a quadriplegic, and thinking, wow, what I will do, like this is not, for some people maybe it would be end, and I'm just like, no, can't be it, I have to move. And I find this inner energy, this inner voice that was telling me, no, there is a chance, there is something to do. So this taught me that doesn't matter how bad the situation is, there is always a way. There is always something you can do. And I'm not saying that maybe you will get back to full your mobility. No, I'm saying that there will be some improvement if you look for it.
So that your personal story led you to the work that, how do you now help others?
Okay, I am helping women to discover or reconnect maybe with their inner voice, so they can speak up for themselves and do the work they would love to, because all of this work comes usually with the ladies down to one voice, and that's our inner victim. This one that we are not good enough, we can message to this person, we can post this and things like that. So when we realize that we are the creator and we are not just the victim that can't take control over their life, that's when the magic starts happening.
Absolutely. That's where everything begins. It's such foundational work as well. So do you have like a framework or like a process in how you help your client to find that inner self-expression, their inner voice? Where do you begin with them? What does the journey look like for people that are looking, or maybe resonate with your story and message, and maybe they're not problem aware yet, right? They're not even solution aware yet. They don't know that there is a solution, and you are out there to guide them. So what is that process? How do you help your clients with that?
Okay, through the years, as I'm working like 20 years, I noticed that these are two things we need to clear before we dive in, and this is our mother and father wound. So we go and we have like powerful discussion to do that, which it's so liberating for people, because we don't need to carry that and even much more. And then we can go and dive inside ourselves and be really truthful ourselves. It's not like I'm polishing nails in the sessions. No, we need to really take the responsibility and really say, wow, I'm responsible for that. And I understand that in some situation like domestic abuse, it's difficult to say, oh, I'm responsible for that. But when we are really honest to ourselves, in some point we permit that it's a boundary cross. So we need to accept that maybe we did something that at the end hurt us a lot. So it's a very hard work, I know it, but it's worth it.
Well, not only it's worth it, it's the only work That will be the work of our lives. Honestly, I feel like this is something we're always working on. But yeah, no, I absolutely love the work that you're doing as well, and it's all personalized work, right? Because we're affected differently from a lot of those different things. So, the work you're doing out there and holding space for people, and also leveraging your challenges in your personal life to now turn that into your purpose, right? I think that's coming from that personal experience. It's authentic, right? You've been there. It's empathetic. You understand it, and of course, the people that are looking for that support are going to be able to resonate with it. So, thank you again, Petra, for all you do and for all you just shared as well. Beautiful. I want to invite Brittany Young to our virtual stage. Brittany, thank you so much also for coming on. Looking forward to getting to know you as well.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate being here.
It is such a pleasure to have you, Brittany. Welcome to our life school community here. And the same question for you. Can you share some of the most meaningful moments that led to the work you're doing today?
Sure. So I spent over a decade in the pharmaceutical industry. I was in sales and marketing and working for a corporation, working for different corporations within that arena, and really started to see leaders putting profits over people. I started watching profits increase and people get burnt out, feel unworthy, feel unsafe to be in those corporation settings. And they were leaving by the dozens, and they were either getting laid off or fired, and nobody could figure out why. And yet the company's profits kept going up and up and up. And I watched this from an outside perspective looking in. And then in 2017, I was laid off without warning. The company decided 40% of the people were going to be let go, and the company was selling off its assets. And because I was in sales, it was hey, you're in sales, see you later. So I had a choice to make: either go back into corporate, watch profits continue to increase and people's self-worth decrease, or choose to start my own company. So I started my own business in 2017. I started out in the fitness arena as a personal coach and a health and wellness provider. And I was working with people in recovery from drugs and alcohol, because that's part of my story as well. And I kept getting the itchy bug of going back into some sort of business consulting, business coaching. I didn't really know what it was, and kept relying on my faith to get there. So after about a year and a half, my, God, source, universe, whatever you may refer her higher power to, I used that power, that strength, to decide to move back into business consulting, which is what I currently do now. And I am working with CEOs and leaders to help them free themselves from the stress and pressure of putting profits before people. And the way that I do that is through a process that I created called the permission process. So it's a 3-step method to help these leaders, specifically women, to learn how to trust themselves so that they can start to put themselves and their people, their employees, before any revenue. And what I've seen happen over the last few years is this deep inner trust, and using the power of emotional intelligence as well to do so.
Brittany, I love that our missions unite. Putting purpose first and then profit as a byproduct. So tell us about your permission method. We would like to know. So what are those pillars that you have built to help people put purpose first and then profit in their companies?
So the real first step is becoming emotionally aware. I find that a lot of people are walking around without any sort of emotion. And so part of my responsibility is to help these women, these CEOs, really understand when an emotion comes up, to actually be aware that it's there, whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, no matter what the actual emotion that you're feeling, we need to first identify it. If we can identify it, then the second step is to actually release it and feel it. And once we're feeling, we're healing. And as we go through this healing process, what will start to happen is step three is a creation process. We're creating a beautiful emotional pathway and a journey to, self-liberation of our feelings. And then on the other side, we're starting to create business strategies. So we're putting together their back end process. How are we actually going to help our company and the people within it also gain emotional awareness so that we can all be really going towards this, increase of profit, increase of purpose, whatever the mission statement is of the company. So if we start with becoming aware of our emotions, we can start to heal ourselves from the inside out, and then that will start to heal the company as a whole as well. And what tends to happen is an increase in sales, increase in profits. People are happier. They're not leaving the job or getting burnt out. They're really feeling satisfied and fulfilled.
Yeah, it's amazing how our emotions have a lot to do with our business success. I have also personally found that the one thing that we never learn in school is how to feel our negative emotions and actually be okay. We don't last as long as we thought, because for most of us, we're avoiding them because we just think, we're going to die, right? Something's going to happen. Learning how to feel our emotions is so powerful, especially as you're building a company. I think being an entrepreneur as well, a lot of this exercise shows up, a lot when you're facing maybe rejection in the early days, or when you might experience that inconsistent cash flow, right? So I love that you pair the personal piece, but also the business part and the strategy, because that's also important to be able to align both, so then you are working towards the right priorities to solve for the right problem at the current stage of your business growth, because we all know that it's different problems that we focus on, or different things that we need to really create results around at the different growth phases of our companies. So thank you so much, Brittany, for all the amazing work you're doing out there in the world. And so glad that we connected and our missions align as well, to help companies be more conscious around this part, and be in this for the long run as we create legacy companies that are going to sustain and live in today's world, because the expectations of the people around us have also changed. So it's great that we're spreading, the education around how is it that we can do business a different way, and a lot of old traditional business models that we just thought that's kind of how business should be done. So you, and bravo to all my amazing ladies here today. Thank you so much for, again, everything you have shared. I usually at the end of the event, I like to go back and do another round and get back to everyone again. And today I actually feel compelled to ask you ladies if you had one major takeaway from this event, and what was that, and also where is it that the audience can further this conversation with you. So I'll go back to Andrea again.
Yeah. I forgot the first question, Elona. What is
one key takeaway that resonated with you today?
Somebody said a quote I wrote down, but I think generally speaking is the emotions are kind of like the fuel for our passion and what we contribute to the world, which I find amazing for all of us. And the second piece to that is that the painful parts of our life are also contributed to what we shine right now on the screen together, which is quite amazing. People can find me, just any Google search, Ganga Moon Yoga at squaresite.com, Ganga Moon Yoga on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, but also my last name, And all the books are on Amazon and any favorite bookstore that you like. Andrea L. Whelan, Wehlann. And yeah, I'm available for any questions. If anyone needs any help or to contact after, please reach out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrea. Don't worry, I'll tag
Okay.
the speakers and their links right underneath
Thank you.
the event in our community as well. So you'll be able to connect us. That was one of our
Perfect.
always connect and nurture relationships, because
Perfect.
the rock of anything we do, it's always our beautiful relationships that we nurture and invest in time. So
Thank you. Thank you.
my pleasure. Love to go to Gail next. Gail, same question for you. One main key takeaway from today, and also where is it that the audience can further connect with you?
Yes. The key takeaway that I found in today's session is that the reason why we're successful is because of our passion. We put our passion into our work. We know that we can do so much good to the community, and the fact that we do that and that we utilize our skill sets and our passions and our superpowers. Everybody has their own stories. Everybody has their own pain points, but we take that pain point and we grow that instead of putting it into a negative light. We grow that into helping others because we know we're not alone. So that's the key takeaway. So I appreciate and I am honored to be in the presence of all you wonderful women. Everybody can reach me on Facebook, LinkedIn. I am also, I do also have a website, www.gailmarielle.com, and we can discuss further and continue the conversation.
Love it. Thank you so much, Gail. And Petra.
What I was hearing today was that whatever our pains and your loss, we didn't take it to destroy us, but we take it to elevate us, to use it to fuel our passion and things what we do. So that's my takeaway for today. And yeah, you can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn by my name, and you can check from that. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. And Brittany.
I would say my takeaway from today is don't be afraid to use your pain as your power, and don't be afraid to use your personal story as your business. Channeling that inner story that you have, it's really important to cultivate a connection with yourself first, and then be able to birth that out into the world as a business, which every single one of us has done. And you can find me particularly on LinkedIn. I'm really over there more than Facebook. I have fire emojis on either side of my name. And my last name is Young, and my first name is Brittany. And it's Etany.
All right, beautiful. Well, thank you again. And my key takeaway, just from listening to all the amazing wisdom that was shared today, is how our personal success always aligns with our professional success. So the more we also self-discover ourselves personally, the more we become aware personally, it's almost like a byproduct that you will be successful professionally and also with your finances. Because I think that's another piece that most people choose the journey of entrepreneurship because of that time freedom and financial freedom. So it's always very much connected. So thank you to all our amazing speakers today. I learn and grow each time that I run these events, and I walk away with great wisdom and inspiration. I really hope it was the same for you. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for supporting our events and sharing this with other purpose-driven entrepreneurs and CEOs that put passion and purpose first, and then of course align their profits with that. We also have a community expert program in our community, which I would love to give you more information in this video that's going to play right now. Thank you again, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
You to be one of our community experts for our biggest global community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs and CEOs who are led by purpose, and of course also learn how to align their profits in their companies and in their businesses. Their legacy through entrepreneurship is really their way, their vocation, in how they actually get to do more good in the world. In our community expert C-suite program, we have included amazing benefits for you as a purpose-driven entrepreneur, where in our audience of over 30,000 purpose-driven entrepreneurs, I warmly introduce you to high-level quality connections that can help you collaborate, further advance your cause, and also align your purpose and your profit as well. Another benefit for joining our community as a community expert is the connection between the free and also the paid speaking opportunities that we add, so that you get to create magic with you speaking and sharing your message with other audiences as well. This way, leveraging a lot of those high-level relationships to grow your own business and to be able to speak alongside the amazing work that you are doing on the day-to-day. We also invite you to our twice-a-year conferences. You'll be one of our keynote speakers as part of the community benefits, where, of course, you get visibility, showcasing the work that you're doing, but also being able to connect further with amazing purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Another benefit of being a member in the community is that you get to be featured in our monthly magazine, and you get to be a contributor to our magazine as well. And then lastly, of course, you get to participate in our community speaking events that we host every week inside our community, so that you can further share your message, but also, most importantly, be able to constantly connect to amazing people that you can add to your network to further nurture those relationships and form amazing strategic partnerships in the long-term growing of your business as well. In order to find out more information and ways to join our community expert program, feel free to go to my website, elonalaparicoaching.com/events, and you'll be able to get more information around some of these benefits, but also new benefits that we're always adding to our community expert program, so that, again, you can align yourself with the right community that's going to support you, but also, most importantly, help you nurture and grow your purpose and your profit as well this year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you with another episode.